Hey guys, it's Zeon, the realest motherfucker in the Dragon Ball community, and I am back with another Dragon Ball Super review. And I am on episode 27, the finale of the Golden Frieza arc, Resurrection F arc, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, this episode was good. Wait, what the? Good? Yeah, apparently it was good. Fancy that shit. Yeah, this episode was actually pretty damn good. First off, yeah, it does pretty much just follow the exact framework of the finale of Resurrection F, the movie. Vegeta goes SSGSS, beats the shit out of Golden Frieza, he blows up the planet, Whis does the temporal do-over, Goku steals the kill, the end. What makes this episode really good is just like little things here and there that they add. First off, the Vegeta fight, it goes on a little bit longer, you know, so that's nice, you know, seeing Vegeta kick a little bit more ass. Also, Goku states that, you know, he does confirm that Vegeta obtained God Ki and was able to obtain the SSGSS form without having to do the ritual, you know, unlike Goku did. So, you know, Vegeta actually did, you know, it's confirmed that Vegeta did the straight up skip red hair form, go straight to blue hair, and did not need to do the other thing just to get this new form. So that was really cool that they actually, you know, did that. Another thing I really liked was when Frieza is blowing up the planet, they really make this way more dramatic, and I personally really appreciated that. Because what they do is specifically is, as you know, the energy waves are like cracking the earth and like spewing up and like wiping out everything. You actually get to see the family members of the Z fighters getting wiped out, like, you know, Bulma's mom and dad, or yeah, Bulma's mom and dad, Chi-Chi, Marin and 18, Videl and Pan. Like, yeah, you just see them all just. You know, some of them actually, like, some of them don't even notice, like, the wave coming and wiping them out. Some of them do. Yeah, you even see, like, the Heavenly Realm with the Goten and Trunks, just, that goes too. So yeah, that was a really nice touch. You know, I really liked that. You know, it does add a little bit more of an emotional impact to it. Something else I really appreciated was when Whis is explaining the temporal do-over, he says it's something that he can only do once in a while, as in, like, you know, it's limited. He can't just do it, and if Goku fucks up, he gets to do it again. So they do add a little bit more tension and stakes to it, and they do kind of draw it out a little bit. Like Goku, you know, you see like everything kind of going in slow motion for Goku a little bit, and like Goku like goes in his SSGSS form and he powers up, and then he like flies in, just charging, and like, you know, screams, and Vegeta gets out of the way, and Goku just takes out Frieza, and Frieza's just like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, that was like that was definitely better done in the series than in the movie. Also, like, you know, in the movie, you outright see Whis do the temporal do-over. Here, yeah, like, you know, he alludes to it. You know, he says like, oh, I don't need to reverse it this time, or he says something to that effect. That he doesn't need to, you know, he doesn't directly say that he can turn back time, but he does. He gets that subtle little implication, and I actually like that a lot more, because, you know, whenever you hear, I actually brought this up whenever he did it in the episode, like, whenever he says, like, or whenever you see him turn back time in the movie, it's just like, oh, well, that's going to be relevant later in this movie, and if you would have seen it in this arc, you would have been like, oh, well, that's going to be relevant in this arc. So yeah, I really appreciate that they hint at it, but they didn't, you know, so like if you've never seen the movie, you don't know how things are going to go, you know. So yeah, there was that. Oh man, like, you know, I've always gushed over the character moments in this series. You know, like, something that this series has done really well, regardless of all of its flaws, is its interaction between characters and just how it represents them. And seeing Gohan like get home and just embrace his wife and daughter, that was some serious feels moments right there. That was very well executed. You know, you really felt the emotion there, because, you know, these characters, like I said multiple times, you know, they're people, they're humans, or aliens, whatever. You know what I mean? So seeing them actually emote and have connections with their loved ones, and you know, showing that appreciation that they really do care for one another. This series does it, I would say, like, more than any of the other shows have previously. I can only think of like a handful of moments, and they're all pretty much filler where characters really showed some emotion. GT had some good emotional moments, and like Z had a couple here, and Dragon Ball had a couple there. But like, I would definitely say this one definitely humanizes the characters a lot more, and that is something that I can never take away from Super. Is as much as I ever bitch about it, like, its representation of the characters is always really good, and I always really appreciate how it shows these characters interacting with one another. Let's see. Another nice little thing that they added was Gohan stating that, yeah, like, I'm going to start training again. Piccolo, will you train with me? So he is going to start training again. So it does give a reason for, you know, that whole line he has, like Piccolo dying, and, you know, Piccolo dying and him, you know, getting the shit ripped out of him, you know, that actually now serves a purpose because it is a catalyst to get Gohan to start training again. Whether or not this is actually going to be relevant in any future arcs, that remains to be seen. If it isn't, I think it's kind of pointless, but it is kind of nice that they gave him this little motivator thing that's like, oh yeah, you know, like, my family matters to me, I want to be strong enough to protect them, because I've never been okay with Gohan just like, off in training for no reason. Like, everyone's just like, oh man, Gohan's a pussy, why is he being such a pussy? You know, like, he needs to be fucking training and shit. And it's like, no, like, he's a man with a family, and he has a job, and, you know, he's living a normal life. Like, fighting was never his passion. But now he has, like, a reason. Like they gave him some type of motivator, which is, he wants to be able to be a man who can protect his family regardless of what's going on. So, yeah, I really liked that, you know, if you're gonna make Gohan train, do it in a way that makes sense for his character, and that made a lot of sense for his character. Like you gave him that very human connection that he needed, which was something that, like, you know, to propel this whole, like, I'm gonna start training thing. Like I said, whether it, you know, actually pays off later on, I'm really hoping that the Universe 6 arc will go past being a tournament. I'm expecting shit to spiral out of control, and hopefully Gohan will, you know, get the throwdown in that, and it'll actually be irrelevant. But yeah, yeah, pretty much I liked a lot of things that they did here. They took pretty much the celebration party scene that was at the end of Battle of Gods with the big, you know, feast and everything, and they put it here at the end of this arc instead of the end of the last one, where Peter's just up and left immediately. And it works here. It definitely works. Like I said, I really just... It's all the little things they do that really pull this together and make it just way better than what was in the movie. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, you know, like, this was absolutely better than the movie. I mean, I can nitpick the fact that they wished Piccolo back to life off screen. I knew they were going to do it. It was, you know, whatever. It's Dragon Ball, you know. I mean, they probably could have spent a little bit more time with that, but honestly, yeah, we've seen characters die and get wished back so often that you don't really need to show it. Just, you know, like, it really does kind of go to show, like, just how inconsequential death is. It's just like, well, Frieza's dead, I'm gonna go to Namek now, I'll be back with the balls, and, yeah, wish him back. Everything will be okay in, like, 5 minutes. I got this taken care of, I'm Goku. So yeah, it really just goes to show, like, just how inconsequential death is to these characters at this point in the franchise. But, you know, I did like the fact that they didn't dwell on that, they just got straight to it. You know, let's not try to pretend it's something bigger than it actually is. But, you know, so yeah, yeah, like I said, like, everything that they've done in this episode is pretty much the best way you could have done this, while still adhering to the framework that was in Resurrection F. Yeah, this was definitely, like, the best way you could have gone about it. Now, for all the endless praise I want to heap onto this episode, like I said, it's a good episode. It's not like you know, like a 10 out of 10 episode, but it was a really good episode. It was really enjoyable. But the thing is, you know, like I brought up, like, no matter how good this episode was going to be, it was not going to salvage this arc as a whole. Like, nothing was going to salvage this arc as a whole. This arc, you know, the key moments of this arc just tanked so hard that this one episode being fantastic isn't going to fix that. Another thing I want to bring up is, you know, this is the type of shit I'm talking about whenever I say, like, budget doesn't fucking matter. Like, yes, like, people keep on saying, oh, it's not fair to compare the movie to the series. The series has, or the movie has budget and blah, 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 and more time. And it's like, no. Like, this proves that, like, this arc could have been great. This kind of execution, these little details spread throughout, could have made for a, fantastic arc. This could have been a really good arc, It probably wouldn't have sat on the higher echelon of Dragon Ball arcs. But, it could have, it could have at least, been a good, B- arc, But, they completely just, they dropped the ball so hard where it really mattered most, And it sucks, too, because they were doing so well in the beginning, and it capped off with a fantastic ending, with just everything just, right there, like, just when the point Frieza shows up, the Battle of 1,000 Warriors, or the Battle of the Army of 1,000 Warriors, whatever, like that really fell flat. That one was really short. Didn't even have all the enemies fighting. Didn't really get to showcase a lot of the Z fighters being awesome or anything. So that really fell short of expectations. Barely any Jocko in that too. The Tagoma stuff was horribly mishandled, and I'll be going into that in detail in the future at some point, but you've heard my reviews already. So yeah, I was horribly disappointed by like how they handled Tagoma, like, because you had like, hey, we made Tagoma this really interesting character. Oh, sweet, what's he gonna do? Well, he's gonna get taken over by Ginyu? Oh, okay. And then we're going to kill him off. Oh. And then what? Oh, nothing, he's just dead now. You motherfucker. So, yeah, that. And then, of course, the horrible clusterfuck that was the Frieza fight. But yeah, so that was, like I said, the arc was horribly mishandled. And no matter how good this episode was going to be, it was never going to, salvage this arc as a whole. Like I said, this is a fantastic episode in its own right. Now I am going to bitch about the elephant in the room. I got to, because I haven't really talked about this topic in any real detail. But Vegeta not getting the kill is still goddamn irksome. They could have given him the kill. There was no reason not to. People have argued like, well, Goku doesn't learn his lesson if Goku doesn't learn his lesson about, going soft or whatever if, Vegeta gets the kill. And it's like, that's not really true. Like, they could, because, the fact that Goku got fucking shot in the chest and Vegeta had to go and take up the fight for him is, evidence enough that, like, yeah, Goku learns from that instance right there. Having Frieza blow up the Earth and, the temporal redo, because I understand they really wanted to implement that. I feel like it could have been salvaged. They still could have done something to still give Vegeta the kill. Like, Goku tries to, like, interfere with him. Tries to interfere with the fight, and Vegeta blocks the attack, and then, like, maybe Frieza tries to escape, and then Vegeta just, like, oh no, the fuck you don't, like, kicks him into the air, and then final flashes him. Something. There was a few different ways that they could have handled that. They could have just not done the temporal do-over at all. But yeah, and the reason I feel it's important that Vegeta should have gotten this kill is that Frieza is Vegeta's enemy. Like, Frieza might consider Goku his enemy, but to Goku, Frieza's just some asshole he fought like 14, 18, 20 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. Several years ago. He was just some asshole that he fought on another alien planet that killed his best friend. And I mean, at this point, who the fuck hasn't killed Kuririn at this point? I mean, let's be honest. So, it really didn't seem to matter that much, that Goku got this kill. Like, I really felt like, Vegeta, thematically, like I said, it was Vegeta's enemy. This is the man who enslaved his race, wiped out his race, murdered him at one point. So, this was Vegeta's, this was a catharsis not only for Vegeta fans, but also just for Vegeta as a character. And I really think shortchanging him on, getting that kill and letting Goku just take it from him was a big disappointment. It was a disappointment in the movie, and it was a disappointment here. Yeah, because, like I said, it really made... It's really more powerful to give Vegeta that kill. Because, like I said, Goku has no connection to him, really, other than just being that asshole who killed his friend. But yeah, so that pretty much just sums up everything I really had to say. Like I said, you know, disappointed Vegeta didn't get the kill. I knew he wasn't going to get the kill. Still annoying that he didn't. You know, but yeah, honestly, this episode really exceeded my expectations. I thought, you know, at best was going to be kind of a drawn-out version of what was in the movie. And it was, but, you know, what they drug it out with improved it so much that, like, yeah, like, I mean, if you just took the ending of Resurrection F out, like, the last, like, 5 minutes and replaced it with this 20-minute episode, that'd be fucking awesome, man. Like, and, like, that's one of the things that really bothers me about these, about Super in these movies, is that, like, one isn't inherently better than the other. Like, there are things where you can point out, like, well, you know, the arc did this better, the arc did this better, but then it's like the arc completely failed here, and both the Beerus arc and the Golden Frieza arc suffer from this. And I feel like, you know, if you're gonna adapt these into a fucking series, if you really felt the need to do this, I really, like, you really should have worked really hard at it and got it to where, like, each arc, it doesn't have to, like, surpass the movie in every single tier, but, like, I feel like, you know, 90% of the arc should be better than the movie. Like, just how they handle things in the arc should have been, you know, better than the movie 90% of the time. But yeah, alright, so yeah, let me try that again. That wraps up, you know, this review. This wraps up the Golden Frieza arc and all of the movie rehashing. Next week we're getting Universe 6. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, like, the quality of this episode gave me a little bit of faith, but then again, this series has been such a roll of the dice. Like, oh man, like, am I gonna get a good episode? Fuck. Not 2. Fuck. Not getting shit. So yeah, sometimes, you know, you get a great episode, sometimes you get a terrible episode, sometimes you get an okay one. It's, like I said, this series really is a roll of the dice. You never know what the fuck you're gonna get. And I'm hoping that since we're past the rehash stuff, the animators will be putting more effort in, and they will try to produce a more quality product. If not, I'm going to be horribly disappointed, and you'll know. You will know if I think this fucking series is just going down the shitter for its last arc or third arc or whatever. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the Universe 6 arc. Zeon, out.